Alright guys, welcome back to Outlaw Bayou Rider. Everything is done. Everything is painted. There are the shocks. I masked them off like I said I was going to do. I might need to touch up a little bit in some areas, which is absolutely fine. That's why I left them there and masked off. Of course, I paid attention to detail and masked that off, painted it. I think that adds a nice touch to it, instead of everything just being painted one color. I might paint this nut black, so when it goes on there, it kind of pops, it stands out. Now I'm not going to take that off because that's the drain, to drain all the diff fluid out. I'm not changing that out, so I'm going to leave it alone. What else we got? So here's the bracket. This is wet, so I'm not going to touch it, but that's the bracket for the caliper, the rear caliper. It's just a waiting game right now, but that's done. The caliper is done being painted. I think I need to go over it because I can see some of that red bleeding through, so I'll go back over it with the black. But like I said, right now it's really just a waiting game. I put a second coat on that. Remember, that's plastic and it didn't want to hold that paint very well. So waited an entire 24 hours and then I put another coat on it. And I mean, it looks all right to me. So I'm just going to leave it alone. And let's go look over at the back wheel. I got it completely painted. Looks good. Oh man. Today was a pretty easy day at work today. We're in the final stages of, we're basically just helping another crew right now. And we're in the final stages of being done so we can go and do our own project. But as you can see, I did this right. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So I just put a couple spritzes of paint over this and I masked off my I did a little too, I didn't mask it off right. I got some of that bleeding through, but that's fine. I'd rather have some of the old paint bleed through than to cover up vital information. This info right here is about where your tire pressure is supposed to be solo riding versus dual riding. If it'll come on, if it'll come off. There we go. Get that corner and peel it. There we go. There we go. Yeah, just that little corner right there. I didn't cover it, but it shows the PSI of the front and rear tire where it's supposed to be. If you're solo riding versus rear riding or dual riding. And really, if you look at it, solo riding, both front and rear tires are supposed to be at 29 PSI. And if you're dual riding, the rear tire is supposed to have like 4 PSI more. See, 29, 31, 32, 33. I'm sorry, 4 PSI more at 33. There we go. Now it's showing what it's supposed to. But, I just painted all of this in here while it was open. Looks pretty good. I'll probably do the entire bike this way, just the flat black, which is how I had it originally. This is actually satin. That right there is not flat black, that's satin. So I'll probably pull those bad boys off, paint them flat black. And then of course I need to paint this area as well. I'll probably do that here shortly while I'm waiting for that stuff up there to finish drying. But before sundown, I'd like to go ahead and start putting this back together. I'll probably scuff up that kickstand. That way it'll hold the paint a little bit better. I mean, that's a chrome kickstand. I never scuffed it up so it'll hold the paint better. Let's take a look at this tire, or this rim, shall I say. So all I did was put it back. Oh. But as you can see, that turned out great. So you'll see it once I put it back on the bike, naturally. And I can see down in there in some spots I didn't get. But of course I was running out of paint. You know, I didn't get everything, and I mean, as you can see, it's coming off of here, just sitting here. That's because I didn't scuff up these rims. I mean, if I want to go back to, like if a person wants to go back to chrome, all they've got to do is get some paint thinner or whatever, mineral spirits, put it on a rag, and just wipe this paint off. So, you know, I like the way it looks for now. You know, I did like all the green and everything, but that, you know, not everyone likes the green, which I understand. So, really right now, what I'm trying to do is just, you know, change it up to where it'll catch someone's eye. If they offer me a decent price for it, I'm gonna sell it, plain and simple. There's a guy at work that's trying to downsize, and I'm trying to upsize. He's got a Yamaha Roadstar 1700, and it's already set up with the backrest, and I mean the whole 9 yards. I'm not sure if it has saddlebags on it or not, which I'll be putting saddlebags back on here. But once it's all said and done, you know, we'll probably end up just swapping bikes. There's no guarantee. You know, he could look at it and say, oh man, that's a lot worse than I thought it was. But, you know, you never know until you try. So, you know, if he likes it and he's like, hell yeah, man, this is exactly for me, we'll trade. You know, title for title. Or if I have to put a little money his way, that's absolutely fine. But, yeah, let me go ahead and finish doing more on this bike, you know, get more done. Because we're supposed to go look at fireworks tonight, even though it's the 3rd. The 4th, we're actually going to get to see fireworks twice, tonight and tomorrow night. So that's awesome, and I'm off tomorrow, so I'm excited about that too. So let me get a little bit more painted on here, and I'll get back with you guys. Alright guys, this is where we are so far. Everything's loose, but I mean, take a look at this bike, man. I mean, this is freaking awesome. I just painted these caps here, crowns, whatever you want to call them. Got to take the masking off here shortly. But after I'm done with all this, I am probably going to pull one of my vehicles around, try and jump start it and see what it sounds like. Put some fresh fuel in it, just let it run for a little bit. But yeah, man, I mean, it's almost there. But this looks like a completely different bike. I mean, yeah, that looks amazing. And when I put the shocks back on here, it's going to look even better. But, I mean, this is awesome. Yeah, absolutely awesome. Alright guys, there it is. I almost tripped and fell and busted my ass on these 4x4s. I used those to keep the bike stable while I was putting the back tire on. It was not easy, but I got it done. That's how everything turned out. I know I need to move the junk from the seat. I still have a little bit left to do. I need to reattach the rear turn signals. But other than that, it's done. So I'm about to go get my keys. I'm going to go in, see if there's any power to the battery. Probably not. But I'm going to see if I can figure out the turn signals. Once I get that squared away, then I'm going to try and fire it up. Alright guys, so bad news. I can't get this thing to start, and so the fuel pump is bad because it will not engage. I ended up taking it apart, and this little nut here, or screw here, is off of my old fuel pump, and it was apart. So I'm guessing something that was in there must have fallen out. I have no idea what's inside of it. So the fuel gauge is not engaging, and I also have a problem with the starter solenoid, which is right here. I've got to get another one because it's staying engaged. So you know, I'm just going to stick this to the battery and it's going to try and start. Really? I think it's trying to start. Let's try that again. Okay, never mind. I thought it was going to... Oh? Nah. I thought it was going to start. I put fresh fuel in here, but this thing's been sitting up for 4 months since it last was fired up. So, yeah, I need to get another fuel pump and I need to get another starter solenoid. So, yeah, it's not going to start. I've been sitting here for the past maybe 10 minutes trying to get this thing to start. I can actually feel how warm these thick wires are. Well, it's only on the positive side, but still, these wires, you know, this thick starting to get warm, that's not good. You know, and I've poked on this thing so many times, it's, you know, I can resurface that, it's not a big deal, but I mean, that's how bad and desperate I've been trying to get this thing to start, because I'd like to hear it run. You know, it ran just fine 4 months ago, ran out of fuel, and because this fuel, because this fuel pump won't engage, that's all ground, I can't hear it run. Yeah, all I get is an occasional pop. Every now and then it'll pop, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. Because this thing won't feed fuel to the carbs. So the carbs are probably, because the last time I filmed, if you guys remember, I remote started it and it was almost out of fuel and it ran itself out of fuel. So yeah. That's all it'll do. Yep, so new fuel pump, new starter solenoid, and this thing will fire up without a problem, I guess. If there isn't anything else wrong with it, you know, there's no telling. I left these open, so a critter probably crawled up in there and, you know, made its way into the engine bay and, or into the pistons. Yeah, I mean, I got the thing on reserve, so, I mean, it wouldn't matter if it's, because I did put some fuel in here. Let me take the choke off or on. That's off. Come on. Yeah, that's all. It's not going to try and start. Oh, that is so irritating. I mean, I've waited this long, and I thought that all I needed to do was replace the battery, but it looks like I'm going to have to replace the battery, fuel pump, and starter solenoid. Because like I said, that starter solenoid is staying engaged. Oh well. I'll get those parts and then we'll go from there. Thanks for watching, guys. Later, Gators.
The dreams down the dead road tracks, leaving